Galio into LeBlanc is good. So, okay, Koi kept that flexible till the very end. They did not show their hand, and we're going to get an Anivia top for MKOI. We've been wanting to see this back from MKOI, his creative top angle. Of course, it's Wonder from the regular season, where we've been seeing a bunch of the Anivia top.
And the LeBlanc passive has been procced.
Jojo dangerously low, Caps in a similar state. Caps does have that level advantage, though.
I think Caps is much less dangerously low. Jojo, that's pretty dangerous for Jojo, is that Yoya looks for a little bit with the audacious charge. Caps, with no mana, is going to get taken out. It was also who was the better mid, but I think the comparison was between the two at the time, right? Coming into this weekend specifically.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, super. Wow. Yeah. Playing on a nice edge there. The lanes aren't going good for Koi,
They're
Medic.
not at all, Betty. They're not at all.
Lane's bad. And Skumon, yeah, Elyoya now has to cover. This is...
they're going to jump onto LeBlanc. Heal comes out, but Hans Summer's now here to join the party. And Elyoya doesn't have the flash to escape. Elyoya forced away. Flash forward from Skumon with the Tempest Cripple, and Hans flashes for the double up damage. Skumon dashes away. And there's not really much you can do about that. Root Caps with another root.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, stop it. Stop it, Caps.
LeBron loses 0 HP off the back of that play.
Oh, Skumon with the Dragon's Rage kick back onto Super. Hans Summer here for the chase as well. Super has to flash away, but there's the beat drop. And Super has no way out apart from the barrier. Sonic Wave. Not going to matter too much as Caps is the first to complete his role quest. Jojo Pyun going to get chained up. Skumon here for the follow-up, flash kick, and Jojo, well, LeBron takes it.
Oh, well, G2 clearly outdrafted them, but...
Okay. Broken Blade flashes away from the Shadowing Strike, and then gets the Pathmaker out. MKOI on LeBron, a beat drop, an encore, a flash away. The crystallize the auto, enough as MKOI finds his first. Meanwhile, Elyoya's on the flank here as well. When becomes lightning, and Caps might just be done for. He flashes the wall, Caps on nothing, and the Crescent Guard finds the kill for MKOI. Skumon's getting chased down by Adora here, who is low on mana. A hero's entrance from Jojo, who's been making a hero's exit.
There are people that know that it's called an... Oh.
There we are. There's the insect into the beat drop onto MKOI, and the egg sits in the middle of the lane, gobbled up by Hans Summer.
Still at a 3k gold lead. Herald is spawning in 5 seconds. Ooh, and that's an engage.
That it is. Hero's entrance coming down as Skumon tries to escape it. Flash taunt from Jojo. Skumon's going to fall. LeBron and Hans Summer now retreating. And Hans has to burn his flash to get out.
Nice punish there from Koi. They're chasing down LeBron. The arrow, the slow.
LeBron able to flash.
Also not able to connect. Super gliding a little bit there.
Because for the enemies, like, oh, the minions are walking weirdly.
I think
which one's Nico? Well, he's not yet, Betty. But now he is. Okay, cool. There we are. Hans Summer there for the follow-up, and that small plates going into the pockets of the Misfortune. Caps now coming out of base with his Shadow Flame complete. 2 items.
Oh, now here we go.
2 as well on Hans Summer. Elyoya jumps towards Hans Summer. There's the hero's entrance as well, and Hans doesn't have flash to get away. You don't even need the 5-man Magnet Storm. You just need it on a couple. LeBron falls out. Caps joins the fray, but Alvaro's killed off Skumon. LeBron having to flash out. Broken Blade flashes the wall too. Elyoya chases him for more. LeBron with the surround sound shield. Jojo still will taunt him back and bring him down. MKOI finds 4. BB died as well.
Yeah, really
I'd
crazy.
love to see that with Fog of War at some point, because I don't know how blind that was. Hans Summer was just walking around the corner. Huge for MKOI on the distortion. Broken Blade TPing in towards the mid lane, because there's a Drake up in 10 seconds time. A previous fight did give MKOI the second Drake. Jojo's going to knock back with a Q3, but I think he just punched out of it. And Yoya looking for that flame, when becomes lightning. They're going to Hans Summer, flashes away from the Magnet Storm. There's the encore follow-up, hero's entrance. Hans Summer looking for that bullet time, all out goes Broken Blade as he distracts the best of MKOI. And now Jojo's in the middle of 4, he's going to have to flash as well. Broken Blade trying to dash away from Super, but now Super on a killing spree. G2 lose their top, and perhaps lose their heads. Caps dashing away, MKOI winning out the fight. I thought Jojo was done for, but they didn't have the damage to get through the Galio.
The bullet time held on by Hans Summer, but the rest of G2 disengage, and now it's BB versus Jojo, but Jojo has to flash to get to safety. Broken Blade has nowhere left to go. With him gone, that's a dragon secured, and as we go back to live, it's Caps and Skumon being chased.
Actually, great positioning from MKOI as well, because as the encore comes through, usually that's when you see the bullet time, but it's only LEC really in the middle of it, and he can just pop crescent guard. So you can't really bullet time on there. Hansama doesn't get the opportunity to use it, as Mirwin is caught out here. The chains, crystallize, stops Caps from advancing any further. Good flash force. There's the kick with the Dragon's Rage, and Mirwin, well, he's been beaten, he's been whisked, and he's killed off by G2. The big kick, right? You see it so often.
Well,
sometimes
Super's
a single
deathless
Dragon
this
Rage
game,
can
which
do
is
it.
kind of insane.
And Alvaro's deathless as well. After the lead that Hansama and LeBron were able to garner, Skewman getting caught out with the arrow, and Yoya there for the chase. Idol of Duran for the taunt, and once again, we see a G2 player dead before the fight really begins. Hansama has to cancel the bullet time. Caps is down for the double, and now Hansama and LeBron are on the retreat. Broken Blade tanky enough to survive through Super for now, but he needs to get away from the Magnet Storm! You can't climb that wall! He'll take down a bit of poultry. As G2 fall foul of the situation, MKOI, there's a Baron available. They are just turning for it.
The laning phase simply doesn't matter. But that G2 is going to have to get around.
Canceling his LeBlanc as well. Like one of his most played across the course of his career, 70% win rate on it, and Super gets the arrow down! Who is the assassin now?
We were just saying that Caps needs to find that assassination. He goes for it, everything looks perfect, but then it's Super that wins the 1v1. Spectacular play by Super.
And you have to think, like, G2 have thrown it at them. They've thrown the kitchen sink in, but MKOI with a Magnet Storm onto LeBron, the hero's entrance as well. LeBron's gonna have to flash away. Knock up onto Skewmon, bullet time rips through them. Mirwin joins the fray. A good crystallize will stop Caps in his tracks. The Dragon's Rage kick back onto LEC, but he's going forward. Crescent guard not enough. All out onto Jojo. Mirwin trying to join from the top side, but Jojo's gonna fall too. The hush around the arena is once again, we see G2 do what G2 do best. Find a way back into the game.
That was an engage from Koi that G2 managed to turn around. And a narrow choke point like that, the misfortune really got serious value. The hunt is on, Mirwin is the target. He is going to be forced into his egg, but he's not going to live for long. G2 find a third kill. Oh, hang on, Mirwin. Now they're going to hand it to Hansama. There's no objective, that's the good news for Koi. 50 seconds now. Caps on the hunt, he dashes in.
Looking for LEC, lands the chains, Jojo goes forward, encore, lands onto Super on the backline as well, and even with the crescent guard, LEC is now in the midst of the team, the arrow lands onto Caps on the backline, Magnet Storm, he's kicked away! Alvaro can't find the engage that he really wants, and now Mirwin needs to do a lot of work. A good crystallize here can stop G2 from advancing, but Caps tries to take down the bird. A shattering strikeout from Alvaro, just distracting, Super having to flash away. Jojo going to rejoin the fray. Hero's entrance on Yoya. The shield not enough to keep on alive. Mirwin does kill off LeBron, but Super stands and delivers and still finds him. He is the superstar! But the man of the ages shuts him down. Caps almost gets the double. In the end, it's MKOI's soul off the back of Super. And Hans hasn't been able to find a way to really open up in a team fight.
Arrow.
Broken Blade on that front line. Q3 for the knockback. Jojo looking for the flank. Broken Blade just getting ripped to pieces. A Kasante more squishy. I have never seen a flash torn a bullet time, but the crystallize will stop the bullets from ripping through. And now Caps has got the world to do. Alongside Hans, alongside Skew, but they just can't find a way through the oncoming storm that is MKOI.
Super is simply too strong. 10, 1, and 4.
Jojo has 14 stacks on his med giant. He has been taking names after that laning phase. The G2 Pathmaker in, encore as well. There's the bullet time, and they rip through MKOI, but Jojo found one, and Super's back from beyond the grave. Super on a killing spree. Alioya diving in. Hansama protected, and no shield will save Alioya. LeBron finds the double. Super without that extra angel gets kicked back. A dash back with Skewmond as well, and Hansama and LeBron now looking for the 2v2, but Super and MKOI still able to open up the base. All three inhibs down to the next 2.5 minutes.
But it feels like we're nearing its conclusion as the Elder
It's just
will
gone.
be kicked off by KOI.
It's just gone. How does Skimon get in here? Alvaro, Jojo, and Mirwin all there to block his path in a literal and figurative sense. The Elder already down to 5k. Broken Blade going in, but there's the Elder encore through it. The Elder secured by MKOI, and now they really get to step forward. The Guardian Angel on Han Summer's shoulder, matched by the Demons in blue. MKOI bring down the lasers, bring down the root of the arena, and G2 cannot withstand the pressure here in Madrid. LeBron tries to walk away, but the last walk he's taking is to an early grave. MKOI in Madrid find victory.